Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Logan, the drunken metalhead who muses, and I've got a couple metal and beer pairings for you tonight. So, this is themed around a certain season of the year, and of course I'm talking about summer. I kind of view summer essentially starting right at Memorial Day, and we are smack dab in Memorial Day weekend right now, so I am gearing up for the summer months, I guess. And I know I'm not alone, and I'm sure everyone in their own way is like this, but the seasons definitely impact the kind of music that I want to listen to. So with tonight's video, I want to explore the different kind of genres and just kind of types of music that I really typically grab for during these warmer, more laid back summer months. And then, of course, being a part of the South, these hot, humid days require thirst-quenching beer. So there's definitely different types of beer that I grab for. And I kind of correlate with the different types of music I listen to as well. So let's throw two great things together and see what happens. So I've got four different pairings for you, trying to range through distinct genres of metal and types of beer. To open it up though, I wanted to start with the most fun one. So come on, when we're thinking about summer, we're thinking about just being outside, grilling, being at a pool, being at the beach. Just, it's a hot fucking day. You're just trying to cool down. You need something, cool to drink on that is dehydrating you, but it doesn't taste like that at the time. And then you need something that's just fun and filled with energy to have in the background, so you're not paying attention on how much the sun is draining you of your your vitality. So what's currently in the background is that fun musical backdrop that I'm talking about. It's a band called Axe Attack. I'm using them to highlight crossover thrash and how much I enjoy this little subgenre during the summer months. And then to pair with Axe Attack, I've got something just as simple and classic. Corona Extra. Why the fuck not? And of course the most important part, the lime. Salud. So yeah, I think Coronas perfectly pair with crossover thrash. Really, any kind of light beer that you can buy at a gas station pairs with crossover thrash. I don't know what it is, but I'm not reaching for a craft beer when I'm jamming to, some album filled with skank beats and with dudes like this on the back of it. Of course, they're drinking PBR, which I wish I could join them, but I figured Corona is, for me, more of that summer light beer. Something about it just screams pool party. But, yeah, Axe Attack is just an absolute blast of crossover thrash energy. It's about 24 minutes of literally just this, fast-paced songs, sophomoric lyrics, shredding guitar solos. It's got it all. Here's some of my favorites. Track 4, Never Again. Track 5, Beer Battered and Bruised. And then track 7, Cripple Catapult Catastrophe. Yeah, let's break down what that might be referring to. But yeah, no, this is a fun album. Came out on Primitive Ways Records, which is a North Carolina record label, back in 2016. So I kind of bringing this up because I think it needs a bump. It needs to be highlighted again for the great fun album that it is. So this is Axe Attack with their self-titled debut. And of course, a Corona. For the next album, we're going a little more serious, a little more laid back, but still fun. And I think that's the thing about like music I like to listen to over the summer months. It typically is just more fun and like lighthearted and just more easy listening. You know, there's not as much thought that goes into it. I guess the beer would be the same. There's kind of less to digest as far as flavors go. For the second beer, I have Dr. Dank with the Daily Haze version. So, hazy, skunky IPA from Wicked Weed Brewing here from Asheville, North Carolina. Cheers. And I am pairing this with a chilled, but still highly energetic slab of stoner rock and really more of like a 70s retro rock band. This is Raleigh, North Carolina's Crystal Spiders with their most recent album that came out in 2021, Moriaris. And this came out on Ripple Music, who definitely do great things. Yeah, I love I love the aesthetic here. It looks like some kind of 1980s retro witch or something. Like we got like Jurassic Park and Bram Stoker's Dracula on VHS, and of course Crown Royal over here in the corner. This album overall is well balanced between more laid back, groove-oriented sections and then high-powered, like hard rock sections that kind of make you think of, you know, classic power trios from the 70s. Yeah, this album and this band is awesome. I'm mainly highlighting this because I just saw them live literally 2 days ago, and that performance was kick-ass. Their singer, her name is Brenna. She's that redhead right there. Man, she's got some powerful pipes and really lets it loose, both on the album and in the live setting. The other interesting note for credentials would be we got Mike Dean here from Corrosion of Conformity. So this is started out as, I guess, a side project for him. So, but I mean, they've released 2 different albums with Mike Dean playing lead guitar. So, I don't know, it's cool, and you can definitely tell the guitar virtuosity is here. The guitar solos are definitely highlights of these songs, along with like the vocal performance. And really, every single one of these 3 musicians are on top of their craft. Like, the drummer is extremely competent too. Since I'm still kind of new to this album, I don't have too many tracks to truly highlight, but track 4, Offering, is my favorite so far. It's just got a fun driving groove to it, and really fits the aesthetic of this band. So I would check out Offering if you want to listen to anything from Crystal Spiders. I definitely love a lot of like the more lighthearted and like just fun, hard rocking stoner music during the summer, and I'm definitely a sucker for all things hazy IPA. Cheers. Alright, so the next metal and beer pairing for my 2023 summer months is kind of my guilty pleasure, quote unquote. Being a metalhead that came into this genre during the late 2000s, early 2010s, metalcore was definitely a piece of the puzzle and a step along my journey, into more extreme metal. And I will often find myself leaning more towards, music with excessive amounts of breakdowns in it during June, July, August, especially when it gets like really fucking hot and I'm just more frustrated than anything. I definitely find myself focused more on a certain era of the genre though, and it definitely leans more towards the early 2000s, and specifically a style of metalcore that came out of the New England area and really just the East Coast in general. So to be my representative for metalcore, and of course you can hear it in the background, we got It Dies Today this is their debut EP, Forever Scorned. So if you can tell, we're trapped in the middle of a ongoing breakdown right now, and truthfully, I like it. So to go with all things breakdown and of the heart and relationship related, we have a sour, not just any sour, a fruited sour. Yes, I enjoy heavily fruited ales and just things that end up tasting like juice, especially during the warmer months. Yeah, so as you can tell, I'd fruit that is almost a slushy. Wow. Very creamy and kind of bombastic in its flavor. I mean, it's one of those where you'd be like, would I call this beer? Similarly, people could argue, could I call this metal? It's very bombastic in its nature as well, focusing on like building up to the intense heavy breakdown, and then all of a sudden, shifting 180 degrees to like a clean sung portion. But you know what, I'm definitely a sucker for this band. So I mean, yeah, this came out in 2002, so easily early enough that I'm vibing with it, because I think the production on here is still a little more organic and raw sounding than what this kind of music ends up being later on in the decade. So that's why for me, Forever Scorned is a good album. It's a good little EP. So I mean, to me, early 2000s and late 2000s, like metalcore, you have some breakdowns and stuff. Give it to me. I'm here for it. You got some At the Gates melodies in the background of your music. I'm also here for it. That awkward spoken word section, sign me up. Like, this is a part of it, and yeah, I will definitely be looking for some more music like this summer, and I'll be drinking plenty of beer like this as well. Cheers. Alright, after my foray into breakdowns and fruity beers, let me try to get my true metal and beer cred back with this final pick. So, with how hot and just miserable summer can be, sweltering, rotting death metal that just kind of drags itself along in its sort of doom style is a must. And I especially love this kind of death metal when it comes from Florida, of all places. So, doom death band Druid Lord definitely fits the bill. This is their debut album, Hymns for the Wicked, and yeah, this shit slaps, and I gotta clean that fruit out of my palate, so I am going with an Imperial IPA, just as heavy and as sweltering as this album right here. This one's from Sweetwater Brewing, which is a often discussed brewery on the Drunken Metalhead channel. So yeah, no breakdowns found on this album. I mean, this is just straightforward, plodding death doom, which every now and then will veer towards, straight up death metal, but it really likes to stay in that, that doom filled area. It also likes to just be steeped in horror, and I love it. It sounds like a freshly rotted corpse dropped off in the Everglades. So many great songs on here too. Castle of Count Sadist is crushing. When we finally get to the end of the album, track 7, Gorgon Witch, really brings that intensity up at just the right amount of time to end the album on a great note. And Circling of Vultures is a great final song as well. So you can't go wrong with this album from 2010. Like, Druid Lord is cool because you can tell that they're based from Florida and they have a lot of that old school Florida death metal sound in there, but then at the same time they're playing around with a little bit of Hooded Menace and other death doom elements. It really just captures a perfect image of what a hot, miserable southern summer can be. Druid Lord, great band, great album. Definitely something I want to pull for. Death metal is one of those few genres that I will actually grab year-round, truthfully. It's just, when it comes to the summer months, this slow and just rotting kind of vibe from death metal is really what I crave. The more gore, the better. So there you go. When it comes to summer, my musical taste, they don't change, but they kind of hone in on certain elements out of music that I want. Definitely something that, lends itself to heat, and music that is just easier to digest and just more comfortable in fun settings, like a barbecue or a day at the beach or some shit like that. But I'm curious, what genres or albums or artists do you typically pull for during these hot summer months? Let me know in the comments, or make a follow-up video if you would like. And cheers! Thank you for watching.